This video is brought to you by
Cool Grain Clothing. We done gone worldwide and we coming straight out of Baltimore. Come on down, shop with us at 215 West Saratoga Street. And if you can't come and shop with us in person, go online right now at coolgrainclothing.com and make your purchase. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way, and that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube, fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one, fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. Let's get right into the story. As parents, we all try our best to raise our kids the right way. We get them basic needs like shelter, clothes, food. We try to get them game or wisdom to help guide them through things we know they will encounter in their life. So when the time comes, they will be ready. And for some parents, they go above and beyond, putting their life to the side so their kids can achieve their dreams, hoping they become better and navigating life than them. But as our babies get older, society tells us at 18, the right thing to do is let go and let them find their own way, because that's when a young man or woman is considered grown. And by that time, your child has picked up things you might not taught them yourself, just by going out into the world, and now they have their own perception on how they view things and want to live their life. Some gravitate the right way and others take the wrong path. But as parents, it's hard not to be there for your child, no matter what they decide they want to do and which way they want to go, especially when it comes to mothers and their sons. Those bonds always seem stronger. Unfortunately, for a lot of black men in our community, we have the highest rate of undiagnosed mental health. Whether it's things we saw growing up or experiences that caused trauma that we bottled up and never spoke about. No matter how good of a parent you are, there's really nothing you can do about your young adult's mind state, but give them love and support. Some decide at 18, you are grown and out my house, my job is done. But others might not be so quick to let go, especially if their child seems a little bit unstable and not ready to be out here on their own. But we never think the ones we give life to will ever turn on us. But unfortunately, it happens. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be discussing a recent case of a man who asked his neighbor for a ride, leading to them uncovering his evil secret. In November 2024 of last year, Miss Joyce Gaskins was a 64-year-old woman living her life in Baltimore. The oldest sibling of 7 and mother of 5 kids who were all grown, Joyce knew all about family, leadership, and sacrifice. She loved spending time with her loved ones when she wasn't sewing or watching her mystery movies on TV. Everybody in the building she lived in on Drew Hill Avenue in West Baltimore knew Miss Joyce, who stayed at the home with her son, 25-year-old AJ Wiggins. AJ will often be seen with his mother or walking in the neighborhood. He at first seemed normal to everybody around the way, but eventually to some, he seemed a little bit thrown off from their interactions with the young man. But nobody judged him. In fact, they would look out for him if he needed a ride and Miss Joyce wasn't around, and ask how his mother was doing. In November of last year, one neighbor in the building realized she didn't see or speak to Miss Joyce in about 3 days, which wasn't like the lively older woman who usually would be outside moving through the neighborhood and talking to everybody in the building. She thought to herself, maybe she wasn't feeling well or maybe she was out of town. Until November 15th, the woman and neighbor noticed AJ acting strange. He always seemed off, but now it was more than normal. They eventually walked to their car, getting ready to go somewhere, when to their surprise, AJ was sitting inside. Caught off guard, they asked like, yo, you good? What's going on? In which he stated yes, and asked, could he get a ride somewhere? The neighbor stated, I got some business to take care of. Why you just don't ask your mother? In which the young man got quiet and got out the car. They then said, come on, let's go to your house. I haven't seen Miss Joyce in a few days anyway. They walked AJ to the building, and in the home, They started calling Miss Joyce's name before glancing in the room, seeing her laying motionless between a mattress and a wall. They ran out the house scared and called BPD and reported they think their neighbor was deceased. BPD responded to the 1600 block of Drew Hill Avenue and walked in the house to find AJ laying by his mother. As they zoned in on Miss Joyce, they already knew she was gone and had been for a few days. AJ himself seemed traumatized and sat in a daze. He wouldn't talk. When asked what happened to his mother, he wrote on a piece of paper, 666. In his pockets, 2 medications was found, one for bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. As police took the young man to homicide for questioning, they quickly realized AJ had mental issues. He was sent to a mental health facility while police investigated what happened to Miss Joyce. The medical examiner who had her body saw bruises on her neck and noticed the woman had undissolved pills in her mouth, in which her cause of slaying was asphyxiation. But no one knew who did it. Maybe somebody broke in while AJ was out the house. While the young man was under evaluation, he would start talking and opening up more. But at first, it still seemed he didn't know what happened to his mother. Weeks would go by as detectives talked to the neighbor, who gave them the rundown of the days leading up to the discovery. Miss Joyce, who was usually outside or driving, wasn't around for days, and AJ himself would just be out walking the streets, seemingly out of it. The day she found him sitting in the car, she stated she was a little taken aback, but not scared because he wasn't violent. They searched the home and everything seemed normal. Weeks would go by with no leads, until one day, AJ got comfortable with a staff member at the hospital he was at. While they were talking, he casually said, "Yeah, I gave my mother some pills. I wanted to look like she OD'd, but then I decided to just choke her out." He also stated he didn't know what to do after the fact, so he just left her there. Listening, acting like everything was normal, the staff asked for more details, but AJ never stated the reason he did that to his mother. They immediately left the room and called BPD to report what the young man had just stated. He was the one who took his mother's life and tried to cover it up, making it look like she did that to herself. Police went to the hospital and arrested AJ, charging him with first-degree murder of his mother. He is currently being held with no bail. Rest in peace to Miss Joyce. I send my prayers and condolences to her family. I can't imagine how she felt looking up and realizing it was her own son that was doing that to her. I know mental health is real. I saw people close to me battle, and over years, they tried to fight. Eventually, you see things in them change. Even AJ's picture from a few years back until now, you can see the change in his face and eyes. I don't know what some of them medications do. I often hear people say, I don't like to take them because the way they make me feel. They don't feel like themselves when they on them. But the thing that got me with this one was that it takes some calculated thinking to say, I'm gonna give my mother some pills to make it look like she overdosed, act surprised and hurt when she is found, then to police act like I don't know nothing. You gotta be able to think that out. Not saying AJ is all that, but that took some kind of awareness. As parents, what do you do when your child gets to this point if they are dealing with mental issues? Let them be, try to get them some help, or just move on with your life. It's hard to see our children in any other light than we view them in. I'm sure AJ wasn't always like this, but unfortunately, things transpired in his life, leading to him breaking mentally and admitting to taking his mother's life. But I want to know what y'all think about this situation. Leave it in the comments. Yeah, man, crazy story. Rest in peace to Miss Joyce. I definitely send my prayers to her family. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the situation. It's another episode of the Baltimore Way. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.